are you?
I am good. Now I don't see your face.
Oh, hold on. I'll get it.
Okay. I see your happy face this morning, having a great Monday morning. We always come out in the week strong out of the chute, don't we?
We do. That's a good way to do it.
It is. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and I appreciate you. And I just read something on the internet every single morning. There's just certain things that I peruse to see what other people are seeing. And it gives me an opportunity to talk to my buyers and sellers about it. But there was an article today to consumers, the top 9 things you should ask your mortgage broker. And there are common words in there that in our business, we just APR, we just throw out because you and I know what it is. But the consumer doesn't use those words often enough for it to make sense to them. So what would you say the top 9 things are that a consumer should be asking you when they're looking at the dynamics of what are going on in the market right now?
Well, the biggest thing is always the interest rate. So the first thing is everybody wants to know what the interest rate is. And when you go online and you see these different interest rates that are published, a lot of those interest rates, they come with different fees and different costs associated with the rate. So you mentioned the APR, annual percentage rate. That's how a consumer can compare one lender to another lender to make sure it's not always about the lowest rate, because they could be getting charged a lot of money, and those are called points to buy the rate down. So that's one thing you want to know is, does your rate include any fees? So that's really the number one question today that I see.
Nice. And along those lines, you and I have been talking about a lot of the activity that's going on. And when we say it's a hot market, it is dynamically hard to explain if someone doesn't always think about the quality of life that we have here. Because for you and I, we're inside because we work here. But as far as our lifestyle is concerned, as soon as we unplug from work, we're outside, we're at the beach, we're playing tennis, we can be in a softball league, we can be jogging through the park, out playing with our dogs, at the symphony, at the opera. When things are going and moving around here, there's a lot of dynamic cultural events. There's also fabulous companies that are here that tend to be in the footprint of Tampa, but that's not Manatee and Sarasota County. We have Sun Hydraulic, Tropicana, PGT Window, Turvis Tumbler.
Right.
We also have a lot of technology company, Roper Industries, the ones that help you technology drive your car around the country and pay fees based on that little device that they put in your car. So technology, regular industrial footprint, because I read, not only do people come here for jobs, but they're around friends and family.
Well, there's a lot of friends and family. And like you mentioned, you think about the shutdown, the lockdown, how unfortunate it was. But for us here on our coast, we were able to take advantage of the resources, like you mentioned, that we already have here. So people are out boating, they're enjoying themselves on the outside, they can exercise. You see more and more people outside enjoying the weather. People come here from all over the world. We're fortunate enough to live here. And so that's an amazing thing that we have right here. So if you look at the consumers and the jobs, a lot of the industries' sales are up throughout the different, like the marine industry, because more people are boating today, right? More people are using the water because they live here. And maybe they took it for granted before, but now they're actually enjoying the water, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, and it's the whole Gulf of Mexico. It's very easy to socially distance, be with your family. I mean, I'll see boats out there with 25 people, but we have multiple generations here, don't we?
We do. There's, multi-generational. I just saw a sign, Lakewood Ranch, one of our communities to the east, just got voted #1 multi-generational community in the United States, which is a pretty big deal for us. And then you mentioned things you could ask a lender in this hot market where people are trying to buy and locate here. Timing. Sometimes timing is everything. Not only is price important when you're making an offer, but the strength of the offer is also important. So if you're a seller and you're uneasy about which offer to take, it's nice being able to reach out to the lender. So I'd ask your lender, how hands-on are you? Are you willing to make that call for me, write the letter for me to help the offer get accepted? And then timing, we mentioned, how quick can you close, right? Because closing now is important, and our average is about 30 days. But as things get busier with the refinance boom and the market being hot, those times are going to be starting to get pushed out 45 days, even 60 days. So I think if your lender can still close in 30 days, that's going to make your offer look that much better and get you the dream house quicker.
Wow, that's fantastic. And you and I touched on a couple of things about what's going on with the construction. Now, when we're talking about multi-generational, we're talking moms and dads with their little ones, teenagers, just turning 55 and maybe refiring or relocating or working from home, but doing it in Florida and not up somewhere up north. And then, you know, what they call the silent group, the 70 to 90, they're all here outside. When I first moved in the area, the first 5K I ran in, I got passed on the beach by a 90-year-old and a woman pushing her baby. And I'm like, well, okay, I need to kick it up a notch. I'd had my extra 20 pounds on from living up in the Cincinnati area where I started my business. It was my wake-up call that people live longer and stronger, but I think it's also their mindset as well. Where do you want to be in the world? And Siesta Key in the last 30 days had closed 20 sales, and the average price was $480 a square foot.
Ooh. That's
an average price of $889,000. So when you and I are talking about, see, Sarasota, the average price this week was down a little bit, $280,000, but we had 404 closings, 77 of which were condos, and 37 on the MLS from builders. And you and I say on the MLS now because a year from now, when we look at the tax record, we know that's going to be double, triple, maybe quadruple, because I walked in and did a tour, socially distanced, at KB Homes, their new property right off of Cattleman, right there in Sarasota. It's a great spot. But that was Friday afternoon, and Thursday, 4 people walked in and bought a house.
Wow.
And she was expecting 2 more yet that day. And so being feet on the ground and being out with these builders, which I am with buyers, I know that some of my listings are not showing up. They're just getting it done and moving people in with jobs. Multi-generation is what I'm hearing from the sales folks. And downtown Sarasota numbers, let's see, 25 closings, average square foot price $473, or the average price of $890,438. So downtown Sarasota, for anybody who's just looking at that on the map, for those of us who live here, there's a water view almost everywhere, or if you're a block away, walk to the water. The Sarasota Bay is absolutely magnificent, beautiful, art everywhere outside. So you can walk your dog, walk around with your family and never, you can socially isolate and never even have to change your lifestyle from what it had been like 10 years ago. Now, downtown on Main Street, it's a little more congested in there. You know, I saw some restaurants putting, now your office is on State Street. There's some restaurants.
So we're on State Street. We have some really nice ones, Hyde Park Steakhouse, State Street across the street. A lot of the restaurants on Main Street are doing outside dining, where, you know, they're able to put tables outside and people are congregating. So it's nice to see all those. They shut the roads down.
Yeah.
Downtown Sarasota is an amazing place. Tons of things to do. Like you said, the culture is there. Our opera house is there. Tons of coffee shops, boutique coffee shops. If you're a coffee lover, I love O&A, Out and About Coffee. Great
I
coffee.
don't know that brand. Where are they?
They're at the west part of Main Street, heading towards Marina Jacks.
Okay.
All the way down on the left. Really nice, just across the street from, oh God, I can't think of the street name, where Main Street News used to be, you know, where Epicure is.
Pineapple? Is that Pineapple?
Yeah, Pineapple, it's a little further down,
Okay.
but I can't think, I guess Palm, it's Palm. Just west of Palm is their coffee shop. Really good coffee, great service, and it's local. They're a local brand, so I support local as much as I can. And that's the nice thing with downtown. Yep. So that's really good.
And speaking about our lifestyle, now this plays into, I get a lot of questions because folks who don't live here, haven't visited here, or might be out in Lakewood Ranch and don't come downtown, or might be enjoying Venice downtown. And Venice downtown has a similar dynamic. And that is when I'm on Palm, I ride my bike down there quite a bit. Now I'll stop and get my coffee there. And I do like an art tour. The galleries on Palm are just spectacular, just what they have there. And this is not even me walking in. Now they open up by appointment, and the streetscape is so beautiful because we've also redone the sidewalks, and you still have a view of the water. And by the way, back to the overall dynamic, none of our beaches, Siesta Key, Lido, very few of our beaches, Bradenton Beach, Anna Marie Island, and it's until you get down to Casey Key, it might have private access for that 900 unit building on Crescent, but it's not gated. So if you live in Lakewood Ranch, it's just a 15-minute ride to the beach. 35 miles of white sand, crushed quartz sand is part of the rock formation here. And it's very shallow, so the winds don't get really turned up. And this time of Florida, it'll rain in Mayaca and not rain here, or rain over the water and then head out to Mayaca. So if you're at the beach in 15 minutes, it'll clear up. So Manatee average price this week was up to $287, and they had 280 sales, a little bit lower volume, but higher average price, 59 of which were condos and 25 of which were new construction. And we'll take that times 2 or 3 or 4. So in the next 5 years, those new construction neighborhoods will see that maybe if the home building is still going on in those new neighborhoods, some of those values may not keep up with the 4 or 5%, which is why we're always looking to encourage somebody for home ownership. It builds that sense of community, but dynamically, it puts more money in their pocket, doesn't it?
It does. You want to have more money in your pocket, and people are treating their home as an investment nowadays. We talked about this a few videos back, but 83% of people that when they retire, a lot of times, I just read this article, they're going to be retiring based on the equity in their home, not their 401ks and their savings, but their home. So what you and I do by directing people to certain neighborhoods and certain lifestyles is important to get into the right community to fit your needs, but also look at the long term. What are you looking to do, right?
Yeah, we have all sorts of folks that want this lifestyle, but it has to not just be about what do I like today, what is the value of that property? That's a normal thing that we're working with on somebody. Okay, are you nestled in a neighborhood where we're looking at robust sales, robust value, and what do we see as far as the building around there in the next 5 or 10 years? If you're going to stay in the house for the next 30 years, because everyone in your family and everyone from your town in Pennsylvania lives in there, and you all golf together when you're in town, then there's those different dynamics. Can you think of any final things that, with these average per square foot prices of 8 in solds in Sarasota, downtown, and on Siesta Key, I'm sure the number is just way higher than that on Longboat. For those buyers, they're not necessarily getting mortgages or refinances. They've bought those for cash, and they're coming from all over the world, aren't they?
They are coming from all over the world, and a lot of people, when they sell homes in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, England, they're coming here with cash. So a lot of those bigger places like on Longboat Key, Siesta Key, you are seeing a lot of cash. So I know 60 to 70% of the market over 510,000, which you eloquently stated, 800,000 downtown plus 800,000 average on Siesta Key. Those people are paying cash. If you do want to get a mortgage, the rates are still low for those. Usually on a jumbo, you're looking at 20% down. The interest rate's a little bit higher, maybe 3.75% on a jumbo mortgage compared to 2.75 on a mortgage lower than 510,000. But nonetheless, still cheap money.
Yeah, That's amazing. And I'm excited. Thank you so much. Do you have anything that you want to add this week that happened the last 7 days that you thought was particularly interesting?
I think a lot of people, I get asked all the time, should I wait for rates to continue to fall? And the cost to borrow money has never been lower than this. So I always say two things can happen. The price is going to go up, the rate's going to go up. So to me, there's never been a better time. So, and remember, the house that you looked at yesterday and you want to buy it today, someone looked at it the day before and it's already going to buy it. So if you see something and you love it, make a move.
Excellent. Well, you and I did years ago. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And you have a great weekday.
You too, Sandra. Take care.
Good job.